Hey there, combo fans. Bryant Cook decided to record a second leak today. That's why I'm in my, casual clothes. And I wanted to record show and tell. So you might not be familiar with this, but at local events, people, as you can imagine, are always trying to beat the epic storm. So they run Mindbreak Trap and they run Chalice of the Void. And when this happens, I decide if they're going to do this, I will beat them another way. And the easiest way of doing that is often just cast a 3-mana card while having access to Force of Will, which is show and tell. So I've been running Sneak and Show at locals recently, but I've been wondering why this just couldn't be Omni-Tell. When you look at Omni-Tell lists, they often are built very differently from Sneak and Show. No Lotus Petal, no Daze, a bunch of 1-mana cantrips, and then there's cards like Drawn Through Dreams and Seagate Restoration, a bunch of these cards that make them slower. And it boggles my mind. Why does Omni-Tell need to be slower than Sneak and Show? It doesn't make sense. So I guess you could argue that you need to put a card into play or cast a card after Omniscience. Well, over the last few weeks, I've played Sneak and Show in 3 locals. I 4-0'd all of those. But the things that work about the deck aren't things that can't be transferred to Omni. So that's what I'm here to show you tonight. I'm here to show you a Omni list that is more like Sneak and Show. And that's what I'm playing. So we have 4 soul lands. A lot of Omni lists play 0 or sometimes 2. Here we're playing the full 4. We're not running a basic forest, which is something that I like from Sneak and Show. There's no mountain in Sneak and Show. You just rely on your duels. So we do have the 4 Veil of Summer, but that's pretty much it. And we took some of the pressure off of the green sources by cutting Carpet of Flowers in the board, which isn't good right now anyway. The blue decks are either Snow or Delver. Delver doesn't need to play islands anymore, and Snow has Prismatic Ending. I'm just really low on Carpet of Flowers. So our tropical islands are pretty much just for Veil of Summer. And then the Lotus Petals are something I brought over from Sneak and Show. That extra speed is a big part of it. And that's what I want to bring to Omni-Tell, is that extra speed, that extra oomph. And that's part of the reason why Omni hasn't been doing well these last few months. A bunch of people decided to slow the deck down and try to make the deck longer. So you'll see things like Ice Fang Quaddle or Uro in the deck. I don't like that style of deck building. A lot of people try to do that with Doomsday 2. I think you're making the deck worse. Slowing the deck down doesn't mean that it's going to be better. You just open yourself up to more hate. And we're going to speed Sneak and Show back up to just dodge that hate that it's losing to. So that's one thing Lotus Petal is here to do. And then obviously you have your Brainstorm, your Ponder, and your full 4 copies of Preordain. I did consider shaving Preordain down to 2 because I wanted to try ESG, but I felt like that was too cute, and you do need spells post-Omni. So I decided to keep the Preordains. But yeah, there's no Drawn Through Dreams or Seagate Restorations after those draw spells. Seagate Restoration isn't an island for Daze, which is a big issue, and Drawn Through Dreams just isn't necessary. You're running 4 copies of Cunning Wish. This is your extra action spell that should just win the game on its own. There's no reason to run anything like Drawn Through Dreams. It's just like pretty difficult to cast without Omni. And then we have Veil of Summer. I thought about making this deckless mono blue, but then I actually struggled to fill up the deck. So I think Veil of Summer does give the deck a little bit extra. It makes it more playable. Yeah. And I mean, let's be honest, I love Veil of Summer. It's super powerful. And it does give this deck a little bit of extra power against Delver, in my opinion. Being able to just have a 1-mana counter to fight back. Especially when you can trip them up with Daze that they weren't expecting. I mentioned Cunning Wish. That's to get shared summons, which gets Emrakul and Gristlebrand. And if they have anything in play, you just draw 14 cards, hit another Cunning Wish, and bounce it with the Echoing Truth. So that's how we're looking to win the game. And then obviously you have your Force of Wills, your Crystals, your Omnis, and your Emrakul. In the board, I ended up cutting Carpet for Defense Grid. And while that may seem weird, the fact that we can turn 1 it off Ancient Tomb or City makes it a little bit better than Carpet, in my opinion. And the fact that you can just try to win quickly after that, because that's what we're looking to do. The rest of the sideboard was pretty much just taken from Goldfish, and I can't speak to a lot of it, but I'll do my best to figure it out as I go. If you have any questions about this deck list, feel free to post it in the comment section down below. And while you're down there, make sure to subscribe. It's free and easy to do. And if you like my deck techs and my slight innovation on Omni, you know, let me know in the comments. Or maybe you hate it. Let me know too. That'd be cool. Quick note, I'm wearing my AirPods tonight. I was originally just planning on watching the Mets game and playing for fun, and then I decided why not record it, so I will be listening to baseball while I record. And for some reason I just like lose my train of thought or look like I'm, you know, just glaring off in the distance and probably listening to baseball. Yeah, and if you want to take that extra step, right next to that subscribe button that I just told you about, there's a membership button. It's actually called join. You can join right now until the end of August. You will get all videos early, which is our top tier, our combo cabal tier benefit, but now it's available to all channel members until the end of August. You will get deck lists and videos early. So you want to watch something early? Make sure to join. It's only $4.99 a month. You unlock badges and emotes. And then we have another tier above that that gets you half off donation decks and 2 sideboard guides every single month. It's pretty sweet. Make sure to check out all that information in there. You won't regret it. And if you're looking to support us in any other way, there's always donation decks. You can read that information at theepicstorm.com/donation decks. 3 delightful tiers for you to choose from. Pick the one that best suits you, attach your TXT file, and submit. You can also just go directly to theepicstorm.com/shop. We have a ton of sweet Storm swag, as well as card singles. Make sure to go check that out. And then we have our mini token pack. I go through these all the time, so I'm not going to do the whole thing today. But we're running low on the mini tokens. If you're interested, go grab them while they're still in stock. These are the originals, and we will not be ordering any more of the original token pack. That's my intro. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm just ready to play this. I hope we crush, because this looks a lot better to me than a lot of the other Omni lists that I've seen recently. I just feel like the deck lists have gone too far in the control direction, and they need to come back in the combo direction, and that's what I'm here to do today. So stick around, let's see how it does, and hopefully you enjoyed this non-storm combo video. Don't go anywhere. Round number 1 coming right up. All right, round number 1, and we are on the play. For this league, I'm probably not going to be looking up what our opponents are playing. I'm just going to kind of play Magic. But I don't think that this hand is a keep. We're going to have to ship this. It's just a little too slow. This hand is great. We'll definitely try this one out. I'm going to bottom a Delta, I think. All right. And I'm just going to start off on Preordain here. Get our basic island. Looking for something to put in play off Show and Tell, off this Preordain, and this seems pretty good to me. I'm gonna bottom the Force, keep Omni, and pass. So I could keep Force. The problem is we don't actually have anything we want to pitch. So if our opponent's on a blue deck, I'll just play the Trop next turn, and then we'll have Veil of Summer available. Ooh. Alright, don't punish me here, please. Okay. So it's Hogak or Madness. Probably Gak, if I had to guess. Okay, so we drew Force. I'm just going to look to be cycling this Veil of Summer, if possible. So that way we can potentially find something to cast with this Omniscience. I'm taking a pause here. This just looks like Hogak to me. I don't think it's the Madness deck. The Madness deck doesn't play Blood Gas, so this is just Gak. Yeah, Cunning Wish off the top would win. I'd take an Emrakul. I think our opponent might be like trying to figure out what we're playing here. And they're back. Okay, opponent. You can have a Bloodghast. I wonder if this is an altar. Theater Wayfinder. Okay. So this should allow them to cast Gak from hand. Ooh, double Vengevine. Okay. Another land. I'm just gonna play this out and pass. We get to thin a little bit, so you get a little bit of you know, higher percentage of finding a card you actually want to cast. Alright, so double Vengevine is pretty scary. Our opponent doesn't have a zombie, so they can't cast the Gravecrawler. But if they find Hogak, third Vengevine, geez. I guess it doesn't kill me. If they did find a Gak, though, they can play Gak, play Gravecrawler, trigger all 3 Vengevines, and then attack for 12. And I'll be all in, and they can flashback at Therapy. And then I'd be all in on Veil Summer finding an action spell for this Omniscience. And we're going to fetch here. Just get an island, no need to show them too much. So Veil Summer finds Preordained, okay. I probably shouldn't have 6, in case I do need to force something. I don't imagine I'll need to, but just in case. Sure. And now they can cast the Gravecrawler from the graveyard and attack. Okay, I'm going to let all these resolve. There's no reason for me to counter these when I should be trying to win the game off this Preordain. Okay, that resolves. Okay, take 13 here. So this does shut off Gristlebrand. It's worth noting that I can't draw off Gristle. Okay. Daze not really a draw I wanted. I guess it's like pretty easy for me to cast Show and Tell here. Alright, let's cast Preordain. These are not going to do it. I mean, this is good, but it's not going to be enough. They're at 17, and they have plenty of annihilation food. So I'm gonna need to draw something good here. Lotus Petal's not going to be it. So Lotus Petal, you're not good enough here, but I still think you're great. Attacking with the Emrakul. Okay, they should just sack the other Vengevines. Alright, so we're not going to get this one. Let's go to the post-board games. It's fine. So we do want Surgical and we want Cage. So 4 cards coming in. What can we afford to board out? Honestly, I think we could probably get rid of Daze. I don't know if this is a card we're going to cast. You could argue that you should board out Veil Summer, but they are a Thoughtseize Cabal Therapy deck post-board. And I like having Veil. So I think that this is what I'm going to do here. It should be fine. It does make your Cunning Wish a little bit weaker to not have a Surgical to go grab, but I think it's better to use Cunning Wish as an action spell anyway. So we're on the play. Hopefully we get a good hand, and this is not a good hand. We're shipping this. Okay, so this hand just needs to find an Omni, bottom of Show and Tell, and I'm just going to start off on Ponder. Ponder digs the deepest, looking for that Omniscience. Cast Ponder. I'm going to shuffle that. Okay, so if we can find a Soul Land or a Petal next turn, we have Gristle, which is always welcome. Okay. 8 draws that are very good here. Let's see if we can hit one. Not one of those 8. So instead we're just going to cast Preordain, looking for a Veil of Summer most likely. I think I'd take Force here, just because it protects the Show and Tell from a possible copy of Cabal Therapy. I guess Therapy wouldn't be very good because they'd play a land, bring back Bloodghast, and get me. I don't know. The Force is still good. Should I force that? Probably not. I think I'm supposed to let that go. Gravecrawler. I mean, I could have forced the looting, I just don't think that's the right play. I think I'm supposed to force this, because I can play Gristle next turn, and then just like draw up to 7. Okay. I can also just like draw 14 cards looking for Lotus Petal, so that way I have what is it called? Veil Backup. Ooh, that's not good. I think I want to go to 3. Cage is pretty good. Okay. And now we can discard some lands that we don't want. I'm discarding the fetches because I'm likely going to go to 1 life to cast this Surgical at some point. You could argue that like I could have kept a cantrip over the second cage, but like cantrips aren't super relevant, at least in my opinion. That stinks. Yeah. It's kind of funny. So I'm going to need to find a show and tell here. 1 life, wow. Okay. Oh, we're gonna lose. Wow. I guess if I preordain, it sees the same number of cards as this brainstorm, and then I can brainstorm in case I miss. Bottom these. Okay, Lotus Petal, show and tell. I think we might have just lost. Wow. Okay, we're 0-1 to start this. Womp womp. And we're back for round number 2. We're on the draw, and our opponent Alex West has revealed a Yorion. I don't think that this hand's very good, so we're going to ship it. Geez, like, we don't play any less lands, and I added Lotus Petal. We're on 5. I guess I could draw a soul land and this hand becomes fine. Bottom a Daze and a Force here. Okay. So Yorion right now usually means Death and Taxes. Our opponent's not on Death and Taxes, so that's probably a pro for this hand. Okay. Soul land. Not bad. So now any land off the top allows turn 2 show and tell with backup. Pass the turn. Are they on like Esper Hate Bears? Human, that's an interesting I guess that would make sense if it was Hate Bears. Welcome to your Chalice. I don't care. It's like playing in a local where people blue decks with a Chalice. Get out of here. And of course I'd rather 1-drop instead of a land to punish them. Okay, so we still need to draw a land. Another Cavern. Human again. And our opponent's going to pass the turn. Draw. Okay, so at least it's a blue card for Force of Will, so now we'll have Force Daze on our combo turn. Interesting that they didn't name Merfolk with either of those. What is happening? Yeah, you can have another Chalice on one, that's fine. Okay. 4 cards in hand, so I could actually beat double Force here as long as we draw a land. Give me a land. There we go. Storm 1, Lotus Petal. I guess they could put Yorion in a playoff show and tell. I don't think that matters a whole lot, though. Pitching Yorion. Come on, Force again, please. Maybe okay. Yes, Thought Monitor. Get dazed. Boom. I probably should have dazed before I forced, but either way it worked out. I just want to Emrakul them. They have 7 permanents though, not the lucky number. And we've taken game 1 from whatever this is. I think we're supposed to be boarding in the Echoing Truths for the Chalice. Question is, what do we board out? Probably Lotus Petal. I don't think that this is a speed-based matchup. Also makes like Chalice Zero a little bit worse against us. Could board in like the Boseiju. I'm gonna try this. See how this goes. Well, we open up the Boseiju, which is always nice. I don't know how good this hand is, though. I think I'm supposed to ship this. Get rid of the island. Alright. I don't even have any 0 cards in my deck. Come on, Alex West. Draw, we hit another Brainstorm. I think I'm going to play the Trop here. Wonder if I should be playing Brainstorm main phase. Because if they just go like Ancient Tomb Go, it becomes a little awkward with Hull Breacher. Alright, I'm not going to get Breachered. I could end step Brainstorm looking for like the nuts being like Show and Tell Omni plus something else. Okay, well we have the Echoing Truth in hand. I think I'm going to Brainstorm just to see if we can like find Daze. We found Daze. It's pretty free to Daze this. Okay. Let's play the Trop and pass. We're not in a bad spot. Our opponent's on 4 cards. I feel like we're in control of the game right now. Anything we don't want to happen shouldn't. I guess with Cavern, that's not necessarily true. We haven't seen why it's on human. Do I care about Urza? Or not Urza, Karn? I think the answer is probably yes. And we get to veil this. Boom. Get out of here. On our turn, we can Brainstorm Fetch, maybe get rid of this Ancient Tomb, I don't know. Brainstorm. Don't need double Omni, and we probably don't need this land. So I'm just going to Ponder, looking for Show and Tell. Cast the Ponder. I'm going to take the Cunning Wish to pitch to a possible force and then the Ponder on top. I feel like it's a little bit greedy to shuffle that because it will help you find Show and Tell. You don't need to find it right away. Yorion to hand, okay. So we're going to Ponder again. I guess it's like kind of free to play the Ancient Tomb first. Shuffle. We don't want that. Bummer. Okay. So we still need to find Show and Tell. You have an Urza. Cannot be countered. It makes sense that that's why Cavern was on human. Come on, Show and Tell. Another Cunning Wish. Nothing really good we can get with Cunning Wish, unfortunately. Maybe I'll get to hard casting this Omni. Be nice if there's like an Impulse or an Intuition in the board. That's something I really put a whole lot of thought into before recording because most of the sideboard was just stock. Is this an Urza spin? It is. You are welcome to an island. So I could like Cunning Wish for Force of Vigor to blow up the Construct and the Chalice. In my opinion, the problem with doing that is that if I draw Show and Tell, this Cunning Wish is a blue card and this Cunning Wish wins the game. So do I really want to take that line? Probably not. Alternatively, I could go get Sublime Epiphany and do some stuff with that, but I feel like that's a little bit of wishful thinking as well. So instead, I'm just going to take the turn, and I'm going to keep the Delta in case we find a Brainstorm or a Ponder. Speaking of Ponder, I don't think I can keep this. Echoing Truth, Daze, and Cunning Wish. Like, we have 2 Cunning Wish that aren't doing anything already. Daze isn't super good, and then, like, what am I going to do? Bounce the Construct? So I think I'm just going to shuffle. So many lands. Well, we're up to 6 mana. We're only 4 away. Alright. Is this another Urza spin? Okay, played an island first. I think I need to let this resolve. So if I force it, I just can't protect how I win the game, and ultimately turning that 2/2 into a pair of 3/3s doesn't matter a whole lot. Okay, so with them blinking Chalice, they got to play their Opal, that's fine. And I could Cunning Wish for the Force of Vigor still. I don't think I want to do that. Let's think about this. So that's going to come into play. Next turn, they're swinging for lethal. So I guess I do need to Cunning Wish for Force of Vigor. I guess we'll fetch to Thin as well. So the problem, once again, is if I take that line, I don't have a blue card to pitch. I mean, I could get this Sublime Epiphany to, like, bounce and draw. Okay. I don't think I love this line, but whatever. Let's just draw a Show and Tell and not worry about it. There we go. That's what I was talking about. Alright. A little bit of showing and a little bit of telling. Let's do it. Legend Rule. We're just going to get shared summons. And just like that, we're 1-1. Skilled Magic. That was really difficult. Just drawing the Show and Tell finally. I hope Jerry Mead is proud of me right now. Hopefully we can finish this strong with the 4-1. Don't go anywhere. Round 3, we're on the draw. Our opponent's taking a mulligan. We're going to keep this. Alright, opponent. Let's go. At some point this league, I'd really love it if we just got paired against like a combo deck that went all in into Force of Will. That would be delightful. Okay, our turn. I think we're just going to start off on Ponder here, looking for Show and Tell. I like casting Ponder first because it digs the deepest. I'm not really looking for card quality. I am looking to draw the best card in the deck. Some people live by this mantra that you always cast Preordain before you cast Ponder, before you cast Brainstorm, and like that sort of sequencing doesn't really make sense in current Legacy, and it doesn't make sense if you're digging for a specific card. I'm just gonna Ponder. Shuffle, we don't want any of that. Another Force. I'm just gonna pass here. Hold up Veil of Summer. I could Preordain, but this is looking a little poxy, and I'd really like to not be hemmed. Mishra's Factory. Come on, cast a black spell. No? Okay. Pox people, am I right? Brainstorm's pretty good. Let's cast it. Probably don't need the Emrakul. And the reason I'm getting rid of the Ancient Tomb here is that I want to be able to cantrip and hold up Veil of Summer this turn. Bottom these. Pass the turn. Okay. They're likely to make a construct here. Yep. And then on their turn, make a construct, search their deck for an artifact. So we need a lot to go right here. We need both, sure. So I might cycle a Veil of Summer this turn. So what their opponent's doing is they're about to search their deck, and with the 1 black mana floating, they're going to activate Factory this turn to get in for 5, which is a good move by the opponent. I guess they could just make a servo, right? But I think it'd be wiser if they just activated Factory. Looks like they're going to make a servo. Okay. So they'll get in for 4 this turn. Next turn, at least 9. So our life total is looking a little bit sketchy. Like I said, we're going to cycle a Veil here, turn one of these into anything else. Okay. Not ideal. I could like Daze it my own Veil somewhere to save it. I don't think that's the right play though. Okay. Brainstorm be good to me. Probably get rid of the Veil. And the extra Cunning Wish. And try to find it with Ponder. There's Show and Tell. Okay. So we're supposed to keep Show and Tell on top. The question then becomes, do we risk playing out the Ancient Tomb? Because right now we have a guaranteed Show and Tell next turn. The problem with playing Ancient Tomb is we could get wasted. And if we get wasted again, it's actually an issue. The problem is if I need to Daze for some reason. I think I'm going to play it out. It's a tough call, but I want to try to brainstorm next turn into Omni before I do Show and Tell, because I don't know if Show and Tell and Emrakul is actually good enough. And if we get wasted on Trop, I want that option available, I guess. So they can activate Factory. Those turn into 5/5, so they would deal me 13, and the Ancient Tomb would actually be shut off. Was I supposed to force that? Yeah, I'm dead. Okay, we lost game 1 to Pox. What a bummer. Probably want the Echoing Truths. I don't even know if that's true. Like, I think our main deck is just good enough. I'm just gonna click submit. I don't think we actually want to touch anything. I actually think part of the issue with Omni is that Cunning Wish is such a terrible card. I think every card in the main deck of this deck is like pretty good, other than the Cunning Wish. But it makes sense because like if you're not running Cunning Wish, you're just running like blue-green Sneak and Show, and then you begin to wonder why you're running a deck that has less cards that win the game, other than Show and Tell. I don't know. But the fact that Cunning Wish doesn't actually find Show and Tell is like kind of obnoxious. I wonder if you could possibly run Solve the Equation in this deck instead. That'd be interesting. Like, we lost that game because we spent too much time looking for combo pieces. It's just like a little bit difficult that you need Show and Tell Omniscience and then a payoff. I think we're supposed to ship this. This is fine. Through the Veil of Summer. I think we're actually supposed to just pass here. Because if I cast the Preordain and miss, I need to be able to force, which is the big thing. Alright. I know this is a little bit risky. I just want to put Omniscience into play. Because like I don't think our opponent's going to be able to handle Omniscience, so I'm just taking that line. Alright. Chains, okay. I guess we cast the other one as well. Now we want to find our one of Emrakul without a cantrip. So you might be wondering, Bryant, why did you force Dark Ritual? I was afraid of like Thoughtseize into him, or Thoughtseize. Obviously, if I think that my opponent just has chains, I force the chains, but you can't play to knowing that. Emrakul. Actually, Cunning Wish would probably be the best draw because it gets both creatures. Okay, they didn't make a servo on my end. Oh, they cast Retro. They couldn't. My bad. Looks like they're passing the turn. Cunning Wish. Okay. I don't think I can draw the way that chains works. I think because I don't have a card in hand, I just get to. I think if I was to veil something, I actually mill a card, if I remember correctly. All right. Actually, I think I still get to draw, but I have to mill one first. Okay, Servo getting in there. Smallpox. I guess it's fine for me to veil here. And then Veil Summer. Oh, I could have just cast it off Omni. I didn't need to fetch. Why would I put this like giant blue mana card into play if I'm not going to use it? I don't know. Like, that was just really dumb of me. I guess I thinned my deck. Sure. And I lost a life. Still kind of dumb. Okay. Are we going to die to Servo's Mishra's Factory before I draw a payoff? Okay. Alright, I'm going to counter this. The reason that I'm countering it is if I draw a Cunning Wish and then I get shared summons, I wouldn't actually be able to attack. So normally your solution to that is, we'll just draw 14, Cunning Wish, and then bounce. But we have this Chains of Mephistopheles in play that would stop that from happening. I would love to take an extra turn, thank you. Alright, so we've taken game number 2 over Pox. Pox. Just hit submit again. Our deck was already perfect. No need to change it. I think we need to ship this. Yeah, and I'm going to keep this in bottom brainstorm, I think. Not the best hand, but it's fine. Alright, the turn 1 Thoughtseize from the opponent here. I wonder what they take. I don't know what the right pick is here. It could be Omni. I don't know. And they agreed that it's Omni. Alright, we're going to fetch for the basic island and cast Preordain. No need to show them that we drew Misty. I'm going to bottom these. We don't need more cantrips. That darn one of Emrakul. Always coming back for more. I mean, they know that I have Daze. So they're playing into a known trick. They're on 3 cards in hand, so maybe the last card they have in hand is like really good. I don't know. Another Preordain. Just pass the turn. I don't think we're supposed to keep Petal there. We just need to find our payoffs. I was trying to think if keeping Ponder on top was worth it, and I don't think it is. That stinks. Yep. Apparently they have Dark Depths combo in their deck. Let's Ponder. Just gonna shuffle this. Discard the Brainstorm. There we go. Saga, okay. I guess they could just be copying Saga over and over and not have Dark Depths combo. That is a possibility. Okay. We have our land, so we're just going to jam here. If our opponent happens to have a 2-mana black card that I'm not going to say out loud, we lose. But, who cares? It's just a league. People put too much emphasis on league results, in my opinion. They're fairly meaningless. Show and tell. Alright. Nice wasteland. Did you get that at the toilet store? Sure. 1 card in hand. So Sagas. And they've decided they've had enough. Get out of here, Pox. We're 2-1, 2 to go. Alright, round number 4. We are facing Eli, who plays Goblins. We're on the draw. Is this hand fast enough to beat goblins? You would need to find Ponder and Omniscience off, or I'm sorry, Show and Tell and Omniscience off this Ponder. Well, you have turn 2 Brainstorm Fetch, but I feel like it's just a lot to ask. I think we're supposed to just like abuse the London Mulligan here. So this hand just needs Show and Tell because Emrakul is usually good enough to beat them. That said, I don't think that this hand's very good. I think we're just going to mulligan again. So both of us are now on 5 cards. This is a turn 2 Show and Tell into Omniscience. We just need a payoff. So we can get rid of the Force of Will and a Show and Tell. We just need to find Cunning Wish. Cunning Wish would win the game. Emrakul, obviously Gristlebrand. But even if I just find like a Ponder or something, I'm likely going to Show and Tell and Omniscience on the second turn. Alright, our opponent's on 4, we're on 5. You have a Ragavan. Okay, take a draw. Not really what I wanted. So they're gonna get in with Monkey. Let's see what they reveal. Did not want Force of Will. Okay. You have a Matron. Ragavan and Goblins. I would still like to draw Cunning Wish though. Goblin Pile Driver, that's interesting. Okay. Take our draw. Ding! Dong! The goblins are dead. Lotus Petal. Show and Tell. Cunning Wish. Shared Summons. I think I want to cut the Force of Vigor from the sideboard just so I don't accidentally click on it when I'm trying to grab Shared Summons. Okay. Take our extra turn. Boom. Turn 2. Love it. The London Mulligan. It's powerful. Well, Veil of Summer likely does nothing here, so we can get rid of those. Probably want these Echoing Truths. Doesn't hurt. And Cage actually stops Muxus, believe it or not, so that's pretty good. A lot of people don't realize that, but Cage does stop Muxus. I like that. That sort of interaction is very cute to me. I don't know if it stops anything else in the deck. It might. So we have Show and Tells. The question is the rest of this hand good enough? I don't know, but we're on the draw, so I'm going to try it. We also have Force of Will to stop a Pyroblast. I think I like that. Also, if I just find Emrakul or Gristle, I can put that into play off Show and Tell and not have to deal with Omniscience. Okay, so turn 1 Lackey off Cavern's pretty good. Not going to argue that. Another land was not ideal. Okay. Alright, Goblin Lackey. What do you have for me? Nothing? Wow. Okay. Okay. I mean, living on borrowed time right now with this Lackey in play. Yep. Still no Goblin trigger? Jeez. Yeah. You know, I'm gonna fetch just a Thin here. We still have 1 fetch that we can use as a shuffle effect for a cantrip, but I just want to try to draw the best card I can. Daze. Okay. We just need to draw a payoff. Is that too much to ask? Be funny if we drew Cunning Wish, we could hardcast Shared Summons for a payoff. They found the Muxus. We're probably dead now. Barring a Brainstorm into the nuts. We had a lot of draw steps here. Like, them drawing Muxus was not a lucky top deck. They had 3 draws to hit it. We gave them 3 draws by not drawing any action ourselves. So it's hard to be upset about that. But now what we need to do is draw Brainstorm into Omniscience plus something else. Otherwise, we are not going to win this. Emrakul and Gristlebrand on their own are not good enough. You could argue that it's my own fault for keeping my 7. I wouldn't disagree. But having Force for Pyroblast and an additional Show and Tell, plus like lands to battle through Rashad Important Wasteland, it was fine. Like, it wasn't a great keep, but I think it was fine. We just unfortunately never drew anything. Like, no Ponders, no Brainstorms, nothing. On top of like the actual action we were looking for. Matron taking a while here. Another Muxus, sure. Okay. So we need to draw Brainstorm. It's not a Brainstorm. Alright, game 3. A little disappointing. Yeah, I'm just gonna resubmit. I think we boarded correctly. Just need to, you know, actually draw something. You might be watching this video thinking like, well, Bryant, you cut, what is it called? Seagate Restoration and the, like, one of Drawn Through Dreams. I don't think that's actually played an impact in this league, if I'm being honest. This seems fine. So now we need to find Show and Tell, which was a card we had last game, but we didn't have any of these action spells. Let's see how it goes. Opponent's taking a mulligan. Okay. Thunder. So this would have Omniscience, but I don't think we're supposed to keep this. We're just supposed to dig for the show. Like, Omni and Emrakul doesn't matter that much. Like, obviously it matters. They can, what is it called? Crater Maker it. But the more important thing is just finding the Show and Tell. And another Cavern in Alaki. Pretty good. Alright, come on, deck. Show and Tell. Under. There we go. So I think we're supposed to try to find Omniscience now, so that way we don't lose to whatever they can put into play. So we need Omniscience and a land. So we're going to take the guaranteed 3rd land. But now we want Omniscience. So Lackey's going to get in. Hopefully nothing too crazy here. Okay, I'm fine with Prospector. Port. Okay, so we need a Lotus Petal here, or an Ancient Tomb. Pick our draw. We found the Omni. We would just need another land now. There it is. So that actually gives me an extra counter with Daze next turn, so it's probably not going to be relevant, but it doesn't hurt to keep. Show and Tell might... I guess they would have put Muxus into play if they had it off the Locky last turn. They just don't have anything. Now we're going to get ported. Yep. We have one... we still have a 3rd island in the deck. So the problem is, can we win here? I think I'm supposed to keep the other Force in case they happen to have another interaction spell. So it's worth noting my Emrakul could get Mindbreak trapped here. Yep. Actually, I can Hardcast Force. What am I doing? Why didn't you work? Cast with Omniscience. Had it the whole time, just didn't realize it. Skill magic. I mean, I'm playing at the skill level of a Sneak and Chill opponent right now. Don't at me. It's true. And our opponents conceded the game. We're now 3-1, 1 round left to go. Stick around. Hopefully you're enjoying this. The final round of this league, we're on the draw. Our opponent, I don't know who they are, but they're in the top 5 of the leaderboard, so I could probably look them up on Goldfish, but not going to do that. We're going to ship this. Obviously, it doesn't play Magic. This hand does play Magic. We'll try this out. I think we're going to bottom a Force of Will here. Force just doesn't do a whole lot. All right. What does this person play? I think this was the Pauper Prestige Avatar. Yeah, 2019 Pauper. From Pauper to Legacy. I've often said that Pauper is like Legacy Light. A lot of people aren't really happy with Pauper right now. Chatterstorm, Affinity, the Fairies decks, they're just clearly the best 3 decks in the format. There's a lot of talk about how maybe Chatterstorm should be banned. I don't disagree. But I also think they should probably take something from Affinity and then maybe something from the Fairies deck as well. Sure. So apparently they play green-white, which could end up being a decent matchup here. I like the Ancient Tomb pickup in case we find Show and Tell. I'm gonna shuffle this. All right, no Show and Tell. Nice. What color are you gonna give it protection from? Black? Okay. Pick or draw. Ponder. It's free here to cast another Ponder in case the 3rd card down was Show and Tell. We're not doing anything else this turn. And we're going to shuffle that. I like the preordained draw. Okay. Show and Tell. I guess we keep the Brainstorm. Alright, I'm going to Ponder so I can shuffle those away. We don't really want those cards. Shuffle. I think I'm going to hold back the Ancient Tomb in case they have Wasteland. Because next turn we could still Show and Tell into a win. Yep. So now they can get one of the pieces here. Yep. Reclaimer. We'll take 1. Preordain. Come on, deck. Yep. Give me a Show and Tell, please. Wonder what they'll name here. Wise. Alright, so we're taking 8. Show and Tell? Nope. Alright, next game. Word in the Echoing Truths. We don't need these veils, so those can definitely go. I don't know if we actually want anything else, so like I guess we can board in this Force of Negation, but what's it doing? I don't think Cage actually does anything in this matchup. I guess like Fluster technically has text on it, pitches to Force. Like it can counter a crop rotation or something. Maybe that's just better. We're gonna ship this. This is the same problem as last hand. I mean, we're gonna keep this and then just pray to find Show and Tell. Alright, we'll get rid of Trop. No need to expose ourselves to Wasteland. And Preordain. We'll find lands, we don't need to worry about that. Daze. I don't even know if I want a Daze on turn 1, because we mostly just want to Brainstorm. I mean, it depends on what they're playing here, but I'd rather not Daze on turn 1 if I don't have to. Yeah. Let's Ponder. Okay. We found the Show and Tell. We can Brainstorm on their end step looking for a land. I can't Daze this, so there's no point in trying. But it also tells them that I could possibly have a Daze in hand if I like clicked on it trying, like, because they would get the warning that like I'm trying to cast the spell. All right, do you just have the combo? No would be the answer. All right, let's try to find land. Sort of a bummer. So now we have to live through another turn. So if our opponent just has crop rotation, we're dead here. The nice thing is this is non-creature, so next turn I can still show and tell into Gristle. And instead we're dead. Okay, so we finished this league 3-2. Not too bad. We just needed to find a land right there. Let's take a look at the deck list. Did I think anything was wrong with this deck? Not necessarily. The Lotus Petals were fine. I don't think they like drastically improved the deck, but we did have this speed element that we didn't have before. I think the sideboard needs some work, if I'm being honest. Like, Cunning Wish is like a really bad card unless you're already winning the game, and that makes it not very good. So perhaps this sideboard needs some more options in it, like an impulse or something, so that way when you're trying to cast Cunning Wish, there's cards that you can use. Like right now, it's just like, it doesn't really do a whole lot, which makes it sort of stinky, and I'd like to see some improvements there. But overall, a 3-2 is fine, especially for a deck that hasn't been performing well for the last like 6 months to a year. Let me know what you thought of the changes. Hopefully you at least found this video entertaining. Take care, cheers, enjoy your day. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.